Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. Today is Fashion Saturday, and got new style today. This is this today and tomorrow are the last 2 days of Dark Naturalism. So, I'm going to be creating something today as part of our lit arts kind of section. um, so we'll be creating something today. Today is a Nine of Wands day, so evaluating self and approach. So, like, how you're wanting to be portrayed to the rest of the world, as well as how you're wanting to experience the world yourself, as well as your own mind. So, evaluating yourself, internal thoughts, as well as your external and your approach in that. Like I said, as far as like communication and comprehension back and forth, there's like this exchange that happens, but there's a little bit of gap in between. And so you guys are supposed to be the ones to make that bridge work, or you choose not to. Okay. So miscommunication happens when, you choose not to try to understand from the other party, or, there's just lack of knowledge, just plainly. So, um, today is a review of the calendar shoot, which we have not done yet. So I have been trying to add in every morning a wardrobe and OOTD for y'all. This isn't just something that is for social media or like uh, centering in self, but it's also for your safety. One thing that I've been paying attention to lately is a lot of you guys, you don't always look the same, which is fine. But if God forbid something was to happen to you, how would we know to find you? I mean, I stand in Walmart all the time, and I always, ever since my kids were little, I would have them look at that wall where the kids are missing and explain to them like the dangers of the world around us and help them to be able to understand that it's any age. It doesn't matter how old you are. So, I try to add that OOTD in every single day. So this way you guys have a picture of yourselves every day. Not just for that aspect, but also for yourself. Like I said, safety first, and then, self kind of centering, where you're evaluating yourself every single day. You're being able to create something for yourself. You're be able to watch your own personal expression change over time. And it's really wonderful to have something like that to look back on, not just for yourself, but for other people too. Say, for example, if you had 365 pictures of an entire year of yourself, right? Like every outfit, like if you do makeup, or if you do, business, or if you're out and about in the world, or, even if it's just, for personal preference for like the gym, or, just to kind of like, just do like a little flip book if you want to. But it's, most of that is going to end up missing later in life, right? So, as much as you can get now, and I think that most of social media is kind of pushing for this, is, the recording of history, whether, firsthand personal history, or, firsthand out in your community, or while you're traveling, or, whatever it is that you do, say your business, etc., right? It's information pull. And AI right now is trying to pull as much information as possible, and we are currently recording history. So, I keep telling you guys, keep adding those photos, keep adding those videos, keep recording your memories and stuff like that, because at some point in time, you're not going to be able to remember all this stuff, and you're going to want something to pinpoint a specific location or time, a period of your life that you may or may not be able to remember offhand. And I personally use items to remember things by. Like I used to go around, whenever I'd walk around town or something, I'd pick up a rock. I don't know why, but I'd write down on the rock what I did, where I was at, where I got it from, or maybe who I was hanging out with. It's a weird thing. I don't know. But over time, yeah, I collected a lot of rocks, and I ended up having to get rid of them. Especially when I moved, because I don't want to be carrying around that weight. Anyway, but it's like like little things. We always end up having like these pictures, and a lot of it's already on social media. But I'll be honest with you, the same concept that happened with MySpace of losing all of our pictures and all of our memories. I lost years of my children's life because of this. And for those of you who listened to me when I said about like computers being hooked up to wires that electricity can run through like lightning, it will fry your system. So, you know, maybe now they have a little bit more safety, but as of like 5-10 years ago, maybe they didn't. But so, you know, trying to keep track of everything. Like back in my day, we used to print out pictures. I don't think people do that anymore. And I couldn't possibly print out all the pictures that I have because it would cost too much. So yeah, we did go digital to save on a lot of stuff, but what happens when that digital is no longer there? So having a paper backup is always good. I always encourage that naturally. But, you know, take those pictures, take the videos, take whatever you have to do just to get the memories there. And like I said, the more that you guys are including this into your social media, into your everyday life, you'll start to notice like that there's a lot of similarities between us that we may or may not even realize before, you know? And maybe by doing that, we'll help cut down on a lot of that hate because we'll be getting a lot more information. At the same time, a lot of this information that's going to be coming to you, it may shock you. It may make you feel offended. It may make you feel some type of way, okay? So be aware of that. Like I said, evaluating self and approach today is going to be really key in your success in life in general. It doesn't matter what it is you're putting it to. So take those OOTDs, do those wardrobes, do the makeup, make the content, do whatever you got to do. Even if you don't do the whole social media thing, maybe you're just a watcher, do it for your own personal history and personal references and stuff like that. I mean, I know me growing up, it was kind of awkward to pull out a recorder because nobody really wanted to have a picture taken of them and nobody really wanted to be part of recording. Plus, there's privacy policy now and like rules and laws have changed. And that'll keep happening. As you get older, all of these things will continue to happen. Like you think that life is the way that it is right now. It's not. It's going to change over time. It might change by the end of this year. So, or end of today. End of this stream. Who knows? Just keep that in mind. You know, and when you're editing, you're doing all of this stuff. Like say if you don't want to have every single aspect of your life, you know, whatever. You do the editing. Yes, that takes up a lot of time for those of you who are content creators. But for those of you who are not, you know, just like taking a little clip out of a video, you know, it might just be that one specific memory. I mean, back in the day, if we didn't want friends around anymore, we'd cut them out of the picture. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's the same concept as, you know, like I said, as far as like keeping an eye on your 6-foot circle is who are you allowing in there? What memories are you allowing to keep? Are you wanting to get rid of old memories? Because I know that, like, I'm the type of person that I don't want to go back to an ex, especially during retrograde, because they always come back, right? So, you know, you don't want to keep those memories, or maybe you do. You know, maybe there's certain things that are attached to pictures, places, and things that, you know, it's really hard to let go of, and it's part of your grieving process. So I constantly encourage memorials for people who have lost somebody, but you know, at the same time is how long are you going to hold on to that? How long are you going to carry that with you? And how long is it going to hold you back from the future that you could have, right? So, and a lot of times we hold on to stuff from the past that ends up closing doors and opportunities for us because of association, because of, you know, holding on to that trigger or holding on to that behavioral pattern, or thought process even, just to break it all down, right? Because we each go through these different things at different points in time, and it's hard for us to be able to process that in that moment. So you have to give it that moment a little bit more time, like pause time if you can, like in your own mind before you go forward with it. You know, like I was saying the other day, of really assessing what's going on around you, what's going on in your own mind. So this way you can start to clear up those thoughts, and that way it doesn't block you from your, you know, because our thoughts are 5D. They're ethereal. They don't exist yet until we create them, right? And a lot of the creation that we have from that is our behaviors, is our responses, is our actions that we put out into the world. And it's something that you can change. It's something that you can choose as to whether or not you allow these things to happen or not, right? So, and a lot of us fail at that every single day. It's part of life, right? So the lesson is, right, because every loss is a lesson. The lesson is to learn from it and move forward. And I know a lot of us are like, oh, well, I learned from it, I'm moving forward. No, you didn't. It takes a lifetime to heal from stuff sometimes. And, you know, especially, like I said, as far as like behavioral patterns or responses to certain, you know, events, actions, whatever, that instantaneous, like we all have it right now, this instant gratification. We have to have that now, right? The same concept goes as like the outward negative. So if you have that instant like response, you may regret it longer than if you hadn't responded like that. Or maybe like vice versa, where like you wish you would have responded and you didn't, and now you regret it. So it's like, you know, all of our choices that we make have these positive and negative aspects of them. So, and I know I keep talking about the same stuff all the time. I don't mean to. But, you know, adding or subtracting depending on your situation from whatever's going on in your life, you know, remembering certain specifics. Also remember that as much as you hate a person is just as much as you love a person. So every single person in your past that was something negative, there's something positive in that. Now, what you decide, however it is that you need to make it work for you, but there are certain things that you can turn a negative past into a positive future. Okay? And I know it's really hard to face that and to accept that and to forgive yourself for your past. So this way you can move forward. It's hard. It's hard for all of us. It's not a one-time deal either. You're going to continuously have to do this over the course of time throughout your entirety of your life. So, wow, I'm shiny. I just looked at myself. Sorry. That's a lot shinier than I thought I was. Sorry. I'm not sorry. That shit. I'm gonna shine. Fuck it. Anyway. So yeah. Editing clips out of your stuff to make, you know, videos. I know that right now we're in that 3-second scroll time, 1.5 second decision making time. So you no longer have that 30-second elevator pitch. You have literally 1.5 seconds to get somebody's attention. And if you don't, you literally have 3 seconds before they're out. Okay. So 3 to 5, pushing it, depending, you know. So, so get your links out there. Like I said, if you have seller sites, if you have businesses, if you have anything that you're wanting to get out there, I know this entire industry is saturated right now. So you really have to basically like pop off. You know what I mean? So, and be yourself entirely, authentically, because like I said, that's the highest vibration, and those who are your kind will come to you, but don't forget that you are light amongst darkness, and moths come there too. And don't think against moths. They're just goth butterflies. So, but just remember that you have the light and the darkness in the darkness with you as you're going through this life. You know, space is entirely dark, but entirely light at the same time. So, and that timeline that you're on in your lifeline, during the course of the timeline of your life, there will be moments of light, there will be moments of darkness. So, you know, we have this cycle that ends up happening, and just like, you know, everything that exists, if you believe in this concept, has its positive and negative. It has its light and dark side, but within itself, it evens out, like the concept of the yin and yang, right? You know, you have a little bit of negative in the positive and a little bit of positive in the negative, and everything. So that's how it cycles. And like I said about the flower of life and the timeline with the future flowing in and the past flowing away, it's never ending. It's just, even if you don't exist as a human being anymore, your soul, your energy, your light still continues on after. I mean, we've already had scientists show that like our energy just shoots to the other side of the galaxy, and we don't know where it lands. It could go to another multiverse and enter into another us and continue life, but differently, because now you're no longer that person anymore. You're another person who had a different life. You never know. It's a concept. So, you know, the whole multiverse thing. Anyway. So yeah. Don't forget to add in your links and stuff like that. Like, for example, I'm Amazon affiliate. I share my links on all my social media. I just joined Whatnot. I am on eBay and Etsy. I don't have a lot on there right now, but I just started out. So I'm adding as I go, right? And then today, whatever we create today, I'm going to add that also. So part of OOTD today was the makeup look. I did something different. It's literally gold and glittery. I don't know if you can see it, but I also accentuated my little wrinkles right here because I want my smile to shine. So, but yeah, it's something different, right? Go outside your comfort zone. Even if it looks stupid to a lot of people, so what? There's some people that are going to really like it, and those people are your people, right? So if you have some kind of negative towards you, it's time to remove that, you know, because it's a negative. So you subtract it from your life as much as possible. And you add the positive things to your life as much as possible, right? Don't forget that both of them are there. Even when you're having the darkest time of your life, there's still a little bit of light in it, okay? So same thing with the opposite. When you're having the best time of your life and you're living your best life and you're doing all the things, there's going to be a little bit of negative in there. And usually it's your thoughts. Because how else is it going to get to you? I mean, other than people around you, places, and things at all times, right? So, but the easiest way for negativity to get to you starts here, through your portal, which is your mind. So, so yeah, don't let the negativity get you. And if you have to, do some half chores. I know it's like, what? But it gets you up, it gets you moving, and it also helps you to be able to start working through those thought processes and to be able to, once you start cleaning up the area around you, your mind will start to get clear because when you remove something from somewhere that you're used to being around all the time, right? Say, for example, let's just say, I can't put it all the way in the stream. Okay, here we go. I got multiple streams going on right now. So say, for example, you're used to this cup being here on your desk every single day for the entire time you've been at work. Just an example, right? Remove the cup. Just the cup. For the entire week. For the entire day. Just the rest of the day. Remove something from your space that you're used to being there. And your mind will start to fill that void with new thoughts. It'll start to enhance your own brain, and it will enhance every single thing around you because it is looking to fill the zero. That's all we are, is zeros and ones. So, in the lack of, which was already a 1, now it's a 0. So now our brain is trying to make it back to a 1 because it's our comfort zone. It's what we're used to. It's the regular, and now it's not. What do I do? It's the unknown. It's the void. It's the lack of, right? So our brain automatically starts to fill that void with whatever we can think of, right? Usually it's the first thing like, oh, put the cup back. Simplest answer, right? But maybe that cup was in the way. Maybe that cup wasn't helping you. Maybe that cup was hindering you from seeing the full picture. And now you can work better. Now you can live your life a little bit better. Don't get me wrong, it's not all about the cup. I'm just saying I love cups, don't get me wrong. But but you get what I'm saying, right? Like, try that today. Try to remove one thing. I mean, don't get me wrong, safety first, and, you know, common sense and responsibilities are always there. But something simple, okay? Something that's not really going to affect you, but it's just enough, that little 1%, to get your brain start thinking about something, okay? Say, for example, you're the type of person that puts sticky notes all over your computer, all over your wall, all over everything, right? Put all those sticky notes in a book, and put the book on your desk. Don't look at it. Just put them all in there and put it on your desk. And now you have all this clear space. And now your brain's trying to remember every single one of those sticky notes, but it can't. So now it's going to replace it. It might actually pull up some information that was already there because it's comfortable and that's ingrained in your brain. You've been seeing it every day, blah, blah, blah. But now that you've removed it and it's no longer in your eyesight, your brain's going to automatically think, oh my God, right? Let me try to fill those voids with everything that I thought it was. And now my mind's going to start thinking of new things because it's going to try to fill that void. And it might actually pull up your priorities first because of the fact that you can't see it. It's not right in front of you. So now your mind's going to think, oh, what was the most important thing that I need to think about right now? I mean, granted, sometimes it's like the least important thing. But the first three things that you think of is going to be your main priorities. The fourth one's a little questionable. The fourth one might be something stupid, like useless. But if you can get those top three things done today, like I said, the ones that you were going to do, that you've been trying to do, you've been thinking about it, go ahead and do them today. You never know how far you will go until you take the first step. And I promise you, if you start to do these things, your life is going to get a whole lot easier. And you're going to be really shocked. You're going to be really, really shocked at how powerful you really are. Just trust and believe me. I know most people on the internet, trust me. Oh, that's the last person I trust. Anyway. So, yeah. All right. So, house chores today, linens, windows, and doors. I pretty much already did those this week, so I don't have to do that today. Yay. Fashion Saturdays, big book and calendar. Like I said today, I've been talking about putting more stuff in my seller sites, and I haven't. So today's the day. So yeah. I have no choice but to do it today. I'm tired of it being in my room and like taking up space and stuff. And my closet too. Okay, so we'll be adding content for the big book today, as well as literature arts. What are you reading? Are you guys reading anything right now? I personally am going to be writing a story. I don't know if it's going to be like what age range it'll be. I think it'll kind of be a neutral. I'm trying to try to keep things as neutral as possible. And the title of the story is called Dandelion. Now, I want you guys to think about what the story is going to be about, and I want you to write it down, okay? Even if it's just like a little 2 or 3 sentences. Write it down what you think the story is going to be about, and the title is Dandelion, okay? Now, each one of you is going to get a different thought. The key is, I want you to have that thought. I want you to have that spark that changes things. It changes the path that you're already on. It changes it towards something more positive. It allows the abundance to come towards you when you start to think outside the box. And they don't tell you that. They don't tell you that the new sparks in your brain are the reason why all of the abundance is coming towards you. So, keep learning. Keep understanding, keep expressing yourself. And like I said, authenticity is the highest frequency. So you're not going to fail when you are authentic. So today's show and tell, what have you made lately? Today we're going to be making some clay jewelry. I just got a ton of clay. So if you guys want to join me for that, feel free. If not, have a nice day. Gym today is a +1 routine. I did get the daily treadmill stats out on social media. I believe it was on my Instagram. I'm not sure. So keep an eye out for my stats for the gym on social media. And live sessions, like I said, here lately I've been doing more treadmill time and less weight training, so to speak, resistance training, whatever you want to call it. I've actually done more calories that on the treadmill than I have, I feel like, with the resistance training, but I'm still going to continue that. I just need to reevaluate what it is that I'm wanting to specifically work on. I do know for a fact, like I've said before, it starts in the kitchen, and I know I'm a sugar carbaholic, which is a big issue. So as of yesterday, oh wait, hold on. Let me just go weigh myself. Hold on.
Hey, what's wrong?
Nothing. I'm just manic.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Ow, that was my knee, by the way. Okay. So, 2:15 today. Sorry. As of right now, 2:15. I need to write that down, actually. So, 2:15. And, like I said, more hydration. I mean, that's what we're doing. We're adding more positive things and we're subtracting more negative things. So less sugar, more water, less carbs, more protein. This morning I actually did have a protein shake, especially for those who are 40 plus. Protein before workout and carbs after. So if I'm wrong with that, please let me know. But that's my understanding of things. So there's that. Next week does start Cryptid Core. For those of you who don't know what that is, have fun looking it up. But the aesthetic is Cryptid Core. It was already chosen through the aesthetic master list, which is something that you guys can check out if you're content creators or if you're just somebody that has a hard time making decisions. Then generators are usually, like random generators are usually best for that. Especially if you do color wheels, if you do aesthetics, if you do anything. You can put anything into the list, right? Me personally, I utilize it also for numbers when I do the 365 experiments on science days when we do the experiments. So aesthetic master list for me for the photo shoots as well as for wardrobes and media management is the aesthetic master list, as well as the meal planning. I did the meal planning in a generator. Pretty much anything that you have to make like decisions over a large group of options, a generator is going to be your best bet. So, and since the aesthetic master list is already filled in, you guys can just you just Google aesthetic master list and it'll pull up the generator for you. It's like a generator wheel. And you just click the center and it automatically picks it out for you. I mean, we did this with Battle Kinks back in the day. As well as, like I said, the aesthetic master list, the number generator. We did, you can put anything into that listing. So the meal planning, I've used it for pretty much everything. So at least, like I said, when you have multiple options to choose from, it's just really good to have something there to like just basically choose it for you. Because AI, right? Anyway, old school AI. Like I said today, I've got clay items that I'm going to be putting for sale once I'm done with it. Gym, +1 routine, thrifting. We haven't really done a lot of thrifting lately because it's retrograde, and like anything that you purchase right now till like the middle, like I think it's like August 11th or something like that. I can't believe we're in August already. Y'all, August 2025. It's August 2025. I thought 2000 anything was going to be future. It will be now. So yeah, anyway. Thrifting, like I said, through the middle of August, for the most part, is just going to be a nightmare. Any kind of contracts, stuff like that, don't even bother. Starting like the 12th and forward, like maybe mid-August, it'll start getting better. So anything that you purchase electronics-wise, there'll be miscommunication, there'll be breakdowns, there'll be accidents, there'll be like everything negative that you could think of is going to be lingering in the background, okay? And it's going to be that constant, really annoying like little nudge that's going to happen to you every day, like stubbing your toe or something. So like the most inconvenient things that you could think could happen, like the small inconveniences is most likely what's going to happen. But as well as like there'll be like larger inconveniences too for some people. So fair warning. That's why I always tell you guys, kind of try to be a little bit more aware of your surroundings when you're out and about. Or even at home. Supper tonight, we pre-cooked an entire package of chicken, and Jess probably already ate like half of it. So he really liked how I made it. I put all of the chicken thighs on a cookie sheet, right? The whole package. On a cookie sheet, and I gave each one of them different seasonings and stuff, and I baked them like that. And then, let it cool and like scraped them off the cookie sheet because I cooked them too long. Anyway, no aluminum foil. So, but yeah, I put them in, or Jeff put them in a container, and one of them was like I put orange marmalade on one of the chicken. Mustard and garlic on another. And then another one I had like a peppery seasoning that I put on it. One was the tomato sauce that I made the other day from the tomatoes out of the garden. That actually came out legit, not even joking. Probably needs some mozzarella. That's about it. And then another one I had bacon on it, and then I think that was it. I think because I did 2 of each. Yeah.
You had
I had blackened chicken, orange chicken, garlic, mustard,
and bacon.
Bacon, and then the sauce, like the marinade sauce, kind of not marinade, like spaghetti sauce, like meat sauce, because it had sausage in it. So the sausage meat sauce was on top of the chicken while it was cooking, and it was
on top of the spaghetti.
So good. I'm a food eater. I'm not a foodie.
You know what look good with that outfit? Maybe I don't know. Tara, one of your
Tiara.
Yeah, Tiara. I don't know. Maybe
you want to go pick something out for me to wear?
There or some blossom flowers, that eat.
I have an entire vanity you can choose.
Yeah, I got a peel.
Background ASMR waterfall noises brought to you by the one and only Jeff. So, I feel like an advertiser when I say that. Okay, so seller sites, y'all go check that out. For those of you who are interested in my social media, I actually did put up a new intro video that was taken a long ass time ago, several years ago, probably like 4 years ago. So if you guys go to my Twitch, if you're on my Twitch, or if you're on my TikTok, I think I just posted it. So I did a mini video, actually 2 of them, with a videographer recently in the past 5 years, and and I thought it really came out awesome. So y'all go check it out. It's just a clip of it, but the full video is on my other social media. So y'all go check that out. And so yeah, I'm really proud of a lot of the things that I have done. I'm not so proud of others. So, but yeah, I think that like like I said, as far as being like confident in yourself doesn't just mean one specific way. For me personally, it's multidimensional. It's multifaceted, and that's how I am. That's just who I am, right? Maybe I have multiple personality disorder. Who knows? But because I haven't been, tested ever. So, I don't know what it is about me that I'm trying to portray to y'all, but like I hope you understand what I'm trying to do here. Open people's minds,
and it help educate those that are lacking, that are seeking their GED
Well, I don't know about like.
Okay.
I haven't really done a whole lot of like the GED / like SAT things because I don't have access to those.
Yeah, I thought that goes with that homeschooling.
It does go with the homeschooling, but I don't have the finances to purchase it, and B, I don't know where to get it. I don't even know how to get it.
Okay, gotcha.
So I kind of like screwed myself in that aspect. And I already know that the state does require that for homeschooling, that you meet a certain level of testing and stuff for each one of your students. So when you have a legitimate homeschool, you have certain requirements by the state that you have to meet. If you do not meet those, then you are very much possibly in trouble. So, because it's the state, which I am currently in. So, like when you first start homeschooling, there's a lot more to it than you realize. And even like, it's basically like jumping into the ocean. There's so much information out there, but you don't know where to start. And even if you do ask around in groups and stuff like that, you're going to get so many different varied answers because of the way that it's set up. Homeschooling is meant to, for some people, it's meant to have like a very structured kind of social way of doing it, that we've been doing it through like regular school, and maybe they just wanted to do regular school but at home. There's another aspect of homeschooling that most people don't even realize, is that you choose your own schedule. You choose what you do and how you learn. And then there's another level where it's unschooling. So unschooling is different than homeschooling. Homeschooling is a little bit more structured. It's a little bit more leaned towards like the social, the regular public schools, private schools, whatever you want to call it. Unschooling is basically forcing you to learn on your own. Use your own brain, your own resources, your own everything, right? And not just look at one way, but look at all ways. Any way that would work specifically for you, so this way you can learn, you can grow, you can cope, deal, manage, whatever it is, and no matter what age it is. It's every age, okay? So, and it doesn't matter how old you are. You could be 90 years old and still continue to learn, as long as your brain's capable of doing that, you know. So, I mean, don't get me wrong, there's always that, like, little bit of leniency in both sides, like I said, positive and negative, that goes with all ages. So, a lot of the stuff that I'm talking about, a lot of the stuff that I've done over the years, if you go back and look, it's evolved. It's evolved over time, and it will continue to evolve as time goes by. So, don't look at my specific content as one angle, okay? You can't group it all together. It's all individualistic of different aspects of myself and how I am portraying myself to the world. So how you perceive me may be different than how another fan perceives me, or another follower, or another person in society that actually knows me. So, or like a partner, or maybe an ex, or like, you know, my kids. Perfect example. You know, everybody's going to see me from a different perspective. Also, from way in the past, from me growing up. Same concept. So everything that you're doing right now, you may or may not be doing when you get older. Even by the end of this year. Your brand may change. Your personal preferences are going to change. Your education and knowledge of things and of the world is going to evolve over time. So, as you're expressing yourself, maybe you might only express yourself in certain ways around certain people. Maybe you only might be able to express yourself a little bit. Or maybe you don't want to at all. Maybe you want to stay hidden. You know, some people are like that. They don't like being in front of the camera. They don't like social media. I mean, perfect example is my 4 kids. Perfect example. Some of them are very heavy in social media. Some of them you'll never see on social media unless somebody else posts them. So, I mean, it's very varied, and each one of them is in their own little vibe, right? And I always tell Jeff this all the time, is if you look at each one of my kids, you'll see my own personal evolution as a parent from each one of them. And also, as a person. As a person, you exchange information and behavioral patterns and, like, just energy with everyone that is around you at all times. No, even if it's a stranger. No matter how old you are, you have an effect in this world. And it's usually meant for a reason. So you being in this existence right now is the most important thing in all of history. And I want you to remember that. You are the most powerful thing in this entire world. You just don't know it yet. You haven't realized it about yourself. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to help you guys realize how powerful you actually are. And how much you can change this world just by being yourself. So please, continue to be authentic. The world needs you to do that. Okay? So, and I need you to do this. I need people who are as authentic as possible because I want this world to be the most enriching learning experience that I could ever have, and I want to absorb it all. Okay? I want your crazy mania. I want your solitude. I want your ideas. You know what I'm saying? Like everything, single idea that comes to your mind is brought to you for a reason. So you can bring it out into the world. And if you don't do it, it's going to be given to somebody else. So, bring it to me. Let me see all of your fun chaos, you know, as well as your calming ASMR baking and nonsense, you know. So yeah, I mean, it makes the world worth living in when you have people around you that are authentically themselves. If you have a bunch of people around you all the time that are fake, and I don't mean fake like you feel they're fake. Like, they legitimately don't know themselves enough to be themselves. You can tell it. You can feel that vibe. You don't even have to say anything. You just stand there and you can sense it. That someone's not being authentic. That they're doing... You have to kind of like side-eye them. That's what I call it. I have to kind of like give them the dirty eye. Because this is my damaged eye.
You hear me?
What?
Their words don't match their actions.
Yeah. Well, okay. So, let me give an example for this. Because sometimes when their words don't match their actions, it doesn't necessarily mean that they don't feel some type of way for that situation. Okay? Sometimes people will act against how they feel. They will put a mask on. They will all of a sudden change.
They'll want to fit in or manipulate people.
There's a possibility for that too, but a lot of times we don't exactly portray ourselves as we are authentically, mostly because we're afraid. We're afraid of what other people are going to say, think, do in response to us being ourselves and being honest with ourselves. That's quite possibly the hardest thing that you'll ever have to do, is to be honest with yourself and to be authentic, because it's like, well, who am I? What am I? Am I indoctrined? Have I been told who I am my entire life and just ran with it because that's what I thought life was and how it was supposed to be? Or did I have people in my life tell me things about myself that I just ignored? And maybe I continued acting in a certain way, or gave up a certain behavior, or portrayed myself in a certain aspect that maybe other people didn't understand at that point in time, because of the fact that said person was either masking or really didn't know how to react to the situation. Lack of knowledge will also cause behavior issues. So, like, if you all of a sudden notice somebody acting differently, maybe they don't know how to respond to the situation, either A, because they've never been through it before, or B, they never had the support to growing up with. Every single person was raised in a different household. Even those who have been raised in the same household will have different ethics and different beliefs and different morals and different behavior patterns and traditions. Even if you're in the same room growing up, you're going to be different. It's just how everybody is. We are legitimately 1% different from every single other person on this planet for a reason. So that way we can grow and learn from each other. Okay? Like I've said before, yes, the old saying goes that it takes a village to raise a child. But it takes a universe to raise a soul. Okay? And our souls evolve over time, and they learn from the universe. They learn from everything around us. We learn by osmosis every single day. Even if you've only been here for 1 second and you scrolled away, you learned something from me. You got an opinion. You got a judgment. You've got a open-mindedness, maybe. You've got a, oh, wait, no. You know, you had a reaction of some kind, even in that 1 second. Even in that 1 second scroll, from the 1 second that you saw me, you automatically learned something. Wait, maybe it was that not to wear makeup like this. Who knows? But, you know, it's whatever, right? And you constantly learn. You constantly grow. And as people react to you in different points in time in your life, that doesn't mean that they're always going to be like that. You can't stick one person to one behavior for the entirety of their life. I mean, granted, yeah, there's rules and laws for certain things. Don't get me wrong. I understand that. But, you know, on a personal level, understand that even as another person is portraying themselves a certain way, you are portraying yourself a certain way to them too. And it all is a matter of perspective. Whatever the word is. Anyway, so so yeah, it's up to each one of us to decide at certain points in our life as to whether or not we are going to, like I said, allow certain behaviors to be expressed of ourselves, certain thought processes to continue, or for us to accept certain behaviors from others. You know, like I said, that whole 6-foot bubble is not just for them, it's for you, or not just for you, it's for them too. Okay? So sometimes you got to put that 6-foot bubble around yourself and not allow anybody in there for a little while. Not just for yourself, but for the other people too. And I know that sounds kind of weird because we're always like positive thinking, like we're the best thing in the world, right? Like, how could we possibly need to take a break from somebody because we're toxic? But you didn't think of that. So, sometimes you have to take a break from people because you need time to learn and grow and do better things for yourself.
No, it would cover up your eyes stuff.
That's okay.
Yeah, your eyes do look pretty today.
Thanks. They look pretty every day. Anyway. No, I'm just kidding. No, sometimes when I wake up, they're not so pretty.
Look, you got witnesses.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. So, I could actually get banned for that. Don't do that.
Oh, okay.
So, joking. All parody, by the way. Zero threat. So, apologies. Should have probably put a trigger warning on that. Yeah, don't do that. Hopefully I don't get banned for that. Anyway,
we were doing a snuff film.
No. So certain things, this is very difficult for me to like try to explain to y'all for the unschooling. Oh, I'm gonna have to call. Yeah, your phone's right. I know, it's right here. Thank you. It was Robert. I'll call him back. Let's see. What was I gonna say? So yeah, I might have to edit that part out before I post it. Wait, I'm live. Yeah, I forgot.
We're leaving at 4 o'clock or 4:30. What do you say?
Somewhere around there.
I'm just trying to keep up with everything.
Mm-hmm. It's only 2:41 right now. Mm-hmm. So yeah. Oh, he left a voicemail. Okay. Background ASMR and waterfall noises by Jeff. So yeah, we're gonna create something today. And I'm going to split the screen. So for those of you who are not into clay making or any kind of jewelry making, I hope you have a good day. Wow, there's a lot of y'all in here. Oh my gosh. Y'all are awesome. Troy, Tangle, Complicated, Micielo, Diego, J Love Me, Kevin, Diane, Josiah. Hey, welcome back. Stephen Batchelor, SVA, N. Helson, Jade Don, Belly Aguilar, Juan Lar, Corpus, James Thompson, Kyle Inman, Sean, Rihanna, Allison, what's up? Hey, what's up? I haven't seen you on here in a hot minute. Laney, sorry if I said it wrong. Kimberly, Crimson, Bill, Unk, Billy Bob, user 6882, I can't even say that one. Kind of like, I can't say that one. Martyr, PE, Christian, Laura, Yo-Yo, Lane, L-A-I-N-E, sorry. Daffy, Tim, Mariana, Kayla, and user 4572. Hope y'all are having a wonderful day. I believe today's Saturday, yeah. So yeah, we're gonna be making some little clay things. Hey, Andrea. I'm gonna be making a necklace out of this. It is actually a curtain hanger rod thingy. And like I said, I've got some inspiration. This week was dark naturalism was the aesthetic. So I'm going to go ahead and try to make some kind of like cool woodsy scene out of this loop. And I was thinking about like, I was going to try to add some like mushrooms and stuff like that to it and like moss and stuff. I thought that would be kind of cool. I really want to try to make a fern leaf. I've never done that before, and I think that would be kind of neat to do for this specific project. And I kind of just came up with this like last night. But yeah, I did get, for the thrifting the other day, I did get a lot of clay, which was a major find for me. That was pretty awesome. And it was a ton of different colors. I don't know if you guys have ever worked with polymer clay before, but it's interesting. So we'll see. Hold on. All right. And Jeff actually got me this really cool, huge cookie sheet. Oh, feel like it should make a lightning noise or something, but it doesn't. So I'm going to use that. Let me push this keyboard back. Sorry, y'all. Get this stuff out of the way. I wonder how I'm going to do this. I'm going to have to... Oh, Lord, y'all on Twitch just dropped. Sorry. So I'm going to try to kind of angle it this way. Try. Keyword. I might have to move some things around real quick. Sorry. I'm going to try to pivot it so you guys can see better. Move this stuff out of the way. That might be better. Sorry, y'all. I'm trying to... Because I got a phone and cameras and everything going on here. Okay. That's a little bit better. All right. So at least you can see the board. Is that wet? Yes. Dang it. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna. I don't know what's on there, so I'm gonna just quick clean it. This is the Peach Fabuloso, by the way. Oh, this stuff smells so good. I love it. I love Fabuloso anyways, but the peach one smells really good, you know, if you want to smell chemicals while you're cleaning. So I'm just cleaning off this area real quick. Now, I am not a clay person, per se, but... Oh, move this out of the way. So, but I just started being able to do this stuff in the past year. Move this over a little bit. Sorry, y'all. Unprepared. Unprepared! Alright. I'm trying to get it so this way I can set this down here. I don't know if you guys can see all my little trinket nonsense, but I've got a ton of stuff in here. So, okay. I don't know how I'm going to do this, but this is going to be how it's going to be. Right? Right. So for dark naturalism, I'm going to go with a darker brown. A really dark brown. More of like a orangey brown. Some green. Darker green. Like dark green, light green, right? Dark light, dark light. And then... What color... I'm going to make some mushrooms on it. What color mushrooms should I do? Because it's going to be on this. And I'm going to make the outside of it kind of look like wood. I mean, it already kind of does look like wood. It is wood, but you know what I mean. So, y'all tell me, what color should I do the mushrooms on this thing? Because I can do any color. Doesn't matter. So, y'all pick a color. Hey, DJ Nola, Andrea. So y'all pick a color. What color should I pick for the mushrooms? If anybody's on Twitch. Because I've already got the wood colors, and I've got like some grass mossy colors. And if not, then I'll just do like a word generator, like a color generator. To choose it from. So, color generator. So I'm Googling a color generator right now. For those of you who have never seen this stream before, I'm sorry. Thanks for the TikTok universe to Doki Doki, by the way. Yeah, absolutely. Send gifts to each other. And thank you guys so much for your support. I really appreciate it. For those of you who do actually come live with me and stuff like that, it's really awesome. And join my live, whatever. And then, you know, any social media following is always awesome. I do need like 500 viewers on YouTube. As far as stats goes, So, same thing for TikTok. I'm still under the 10,000. Just changed it over to personal profile, so hopefully that helps with the monetization. I did get TikTok Go, by the way, which is super cool. For those of you who don't know, go check it out. If you have to Google it, because Google's my best friend. Okay, so how do I do a poll on here? Fan club, live event, multi-guest, co-host, play together, live goal. Oh, here we go. Okay, poll and gift vote. So we're going to do a poll real quick. Ah, shoot. Why is it not coming up? Okay, I don't know what just happened. Anyway, I'll try this again. Nope, not letting me do it. Oh well. Underclocking detected. I don't know what that is, but okay. All right, let's go back. No, I don't. Whatever. Oh, okay. Yeah. Come on. It's probably zeroing me out at this point. I just want to open up a freaking color wheel. One that doesn't have a bunch of like ads and stuff. All right, we got purple. So so the mushrooms are purple. Okay. So the colors that we got were this color purple and this color purple with some like a creamy white color. Like that. Yeah, and then like a white pink. Pinkish purple. That's pretty much the same color as the other one. Let's go with... Well, this one's sparkly, so let's go with this one. It seems like bubblegumish. Yeah. So there's the palette. I need a lighter version of that, so... Is this sparkly too? Yeah, dang it. Well, maybe that'll work. Maybe that'll work. We're going to run with that. And then for the green, I want like a darker mossy color. There we go. I'm going to run with that. That one's a little too close to the other one though. Let's do like a lighter. Well, that's dark. This one's a little weird. Hold on. Scratch that. We're going to go with... Ooh, this mint color's fabulous. Okay. All right. So we're going to run with those. That's the palette for today. If I end up adding accessories, I'll let you know. How about that? Okay. So there's that. And pulling it over a little bit so you guys can see some more of the actual work area here. Okay, that's a little bit, not entirely. Okay. Maybe, sort of, kind of, we hope. We're running with it. All right. Okay. Let me leave this over here because I'm going to end up needing it here in a little while probably. Inspiration. All right, so let me go ahead and pull up. Let me close this out. That's completely useless to me now. All right, so I'm going to pull up the multi-screen for you guys for the layout. I'm going to do split view. Hold on a second. It's going to be crazy for a second. All right, there it goes. All right, so we have... Okay, So I have this as a concept for the beginning part of like the loop. So specifically this like little bit of moss concept with the wood was where I got some inspiration from. So I'm going to try to do that. All right. So this is for the mushrooms, this is for the moss, and this is for the actual tree. So I'm going to start off um, darkest to lightest on this. So this is polymer clay. I think you can get it at Amazon. I want to say that this is the type that you... I kind of Googled it, but, you know, there's no guarantee. I don't know what kind it is. I don't know how good this is going to come out. I just know that I got this, and this is what I'm doing. I did Google that if it's a bake product, that you have to use like 275 for like 15 minutes. Not very long, okay? Not very hot either, because you'll burn the crap out of it, if not catch it on fire. So, and if it's not a baked one, we'll learn really quickly. So, but yeah, all right. So I'm going to take a pretty decent sized chunk off of that. Because like I said, I was going to use these larger ones, but since I don't know how this is going to go, I want to start with a smaller one. And so I'm just going to work the clay real quick and just basically fold it over on itself and smush it together, because the heat from your hands is going to help make this a little bit more workable. Like it's a little bit easier to work with. It's not like a brick. So your hands will give off the heat as well. Just be careful though if your hands are oily. Like I prefer to try to like wash my hands beforehand, but today I didn't. But if you have oily hands, it will actually change the texture. It'll make it very difficult. Like if you notice that your clay is really difficult to work with, there's a possibility that it's because of your heat from your hands. So like cool off if you have to, like, you know, put in the fridge if you have to. I just be careful of moisture content. So just kind of firm it up a little bit. Now there is a way that you can thin it out too. There's certain products that are out there to do that with also. I don't know what they are off the top of my head, so y'all go check those out. But and I try to work on a clean surface, that way it doesn't like mess up your stuff. And since I don't want it to be specifically like one color, I'm going to try to measure out how much I need to mix the colors real quick, because I'm separating up like different amounts for different things. So that much of that one for that color, and then I'll use this for some other stuff. Same concept with this one. Don't mix colors unless you're absolutely ready to. Unless you just want to be like, you know, spontaneous like that. I suggest always trying new things. You know, like even if you're not really good at it. Like I said, I have no idea what I'm doing. It doesn't matter. I mean, don't get me wrong. Safety first, like I said. But, you know, if it's not anything that's like a hazard to you, I don't see why you can't try it. Unless you have, you know, religious beliefs or like personal beliefs or whatever that are different than what's available. I don't know. Oh, that one's like a brick. Oh, that's the color of brick, and it is a brick. Lord. And then also the color transfer. So be careful of that too. It does stain things sometimes, but for the most part, you can just like wash it off. So yeah. Oh, that one's like really rough. And it might take like some extra working. If your clay is too dry, maybe you can add a product to like loosen it up a little bit or whatever. I don't know what they are. You're gonna have to look them up. really tough. You can tell that this one's had air to it, oxygen to it, because it kind of dried it a little bit. I don't know if you can add oils to clay to kind of loosen them up a little bit, but it seems to work pretty well for me to just continue to work it. The heat usually will help, and then, like I said, the oils from my hands, sometimes it transfers. So. And I think that, the world is so much better when you look at it like you did when you were a kid. Like sometimes it's just, I don't know, sometimes it's better that way. It's like, who told us that we were supposed to grow up? You know what I mean? So I got these two different colors kind of next to each other. And I'm going to do some stuff with it. I'm going to try to twist it, but I want to keep some of the color like visible. So this way it breaks up some of that monotony and the color itself. It makes it look a little bit more real. Same thing with like hair dye, or drawing hair. You have to have that like almost like calico vibe going for it, because if not, it just looks fake. So the lights and the darks and all things. So I'm just twisting it around a little bit to give it like some color difference. Not a whole lot, just some. And since it is smaller, I don't want a whole lot of it to have like a lot of big accents. I want it to be something that like, there's a lot of little details in it too. But the first part is just getting it on there, right? I've already made one kind of like this that has roses in it, but it's not the whole thing. So this will actually be different in that aspect. So I'm just taking pieces of it, not specific, just random sizes, and just twisting them together, kind of. And it doesn't matter if it breaks apart. I just want it for, the look of it. So even if it breaks, it doesn't matter. Because it's art. You can't go wrong. There's nothing bad or like wrong with art. You can't fuck it up. It's art. It's like life. You technically can't mess it up because it's your life. Other than rules and laws, like I said, and safety. Okay. I might just go ahead and start putting this on here because I'm going to just keep doing this. So, yeah. And I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but it does have like two different tones in it. Okay. I'm just going to run with that for right now. And I did want it different sizes. Some of it a little squiggly, some of it a little thicker than the others. There's a point for that. I want it to kind of to give that vibe of, okay, this is what we're doing. So I'm going to press it on there. Like I said, it doesn't have anything already on there. It's just however it came. Okay. And there's nothing specific about this. It doesn't have to be any certain type of way. It's just whatever you're creating. So, and yours is going to look different than mine. That's totally fine too. If you do end up doing something like this. Because you'll have your own vibe in it. You'll have your own flair to it, And that's the point. I'm just kind of like wrapping it around and like layering it in different directions and stuff, kind of like vines. I didn't want it to be anything specific, so to say. So you can twist it around, you can put knots in it, because it's wood, right? Wood is the one thing, at least that I know of as of right now, that is the only thing that's on Earth that's different than other planets. So, um, wood is actually really, really valuable if you want to think of, um, like, if you were to sell Earth to another planet, you know what I mean? As a resource, wood is something that is of a rarity, so to speak, as far as other planets and stuff. So, and as you can see, I kind of just twisted it around it. I didn't do anything too specific. Kind of looks like earthworms. Because this is going to be your base for the rest of your creation, right? So I probably should have hung this or something like that, where it would have been a little less fingerprinty. You know what I mean? I probably should play music in the background, shouldn't I? It's a little quiet. I also like to kind of like loop it through to the other side, because that way you can use it, you can wear it on either side. All right, guess I need more. You don't want to make it too thick because then it takes longer to cook. It's okay if it's got like little imperfections in it too. I'm gonna try to leave some of this still kind of like open too, because I want to add other things to it. to get that kind of dark naturalism vibe going. You okay, babe? Alright, so just using up what's left of this. Okay. Getting there. Getting there. Trying to make this. Come on now. Now it's not wanting to stick. Really? Punk. Now it is. Going through to the other side. Come break on through to the other side. Okay. Trying to keep it as close to the wood as possible because I don't want it to snag on anything. Also. That's what it's looking like so far. Sorry for those of you who can't see it. Alright, maybe that's better. Oh, let me see. Where's my mouse? There we go. Okay, so there is the first part. It's kind of like a donut. Okay, so that part is done. Try to always like rewrap your stuff. If you have like Ziploc bags or whatever, or more plastic wrap, that would be best. Or like a Ziploc, like a storage container. Oh, I forgot to add the lighter colors. Alright, so I still have this to work with, which is a really cute little burnt orange color. Okay. So I might actually use that with this instead. Leave that dark. Okay. So next I'm going to be working on the moss aspect of it. This is where it gets fun. Now you get to use tools. Sharp cornering. I like using like the little roller part of this as well. I don't know if you can see, it's like serrated almost. So I like using that for some stuff. For really, really, really super small details, there's this incense stick that I use. It's like the end of an incense stick. I use that. And then there was a little plastic cap that went over the edge of my paintbrushes. And so I saved that, and that's what I made the roses with. Today, I'm going to need something that is going to like stab or poke the clay in multiple places at once. So I'm thinking about taking a couple of these little incense stick ends that I've accumulated over time. And maybe this little tool, which is a nail file tool that comes in with your artificial nails. It's like a cuticle pusher. So you probably, if you wanted to purchase these items, I'm sure you can find them pretty much anywhere. And then another thing that I do is sometimes, like if I need a flower pattern or something like that, I'll use the end of a screw, or even like the vine part, like the threading of a screw or something like that. Okay, so we're gonna keep going with this, and we're gonna see how far we can get with it. Right. So moss, leaves, any kind of vines, stuff like that I'm gonna add to it. Like I said, this is just an example. I can also utilize this tool to make markings on the wood design also, which I'll probably end up using this because it seems to have more of a smaller threading than the rest of it does, and it gives it a different texture. So I'm going to run this over it real quick just to kind of light touch some texture on here. And you can do whatever. It's whatever you put your mind to, right? It doesn't have to be specific. It could be anything. And someone somewhere is going to look at this and be like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. And other people are going to be like, ah, it's too stupid. You know, because you're not for everyone. You're for those people who are for you, you know, who vibe with you. And there are going to be differences of opinions. There's going to be, you know, people seeing you from different perspectives. They may have only have known you from something from the past that maybe you're not even like that anymore. You know what I mean? So, oh, it's delivery guy. I was wondering what that noise was. So, I mean, people who, if they even do remember me, but I doubt it, people remember me from high school. I was totally different then than I am now. So, which nobody remembers me from high school, but anyway. Just trying to run this over everything real quick so I can move on to the next. And like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's just whatever you're doing is going to be whatever it is. So almost looks like a snake now. It's kind of crazy. I had a really wild dream last night, y'all. And I started looking it up because, who else here does that? You wake up from a dream and you're just like, what was that? Sometimes you guys don't even dream anymore. I don't know. But, so yeah. I don't know if you guys can see the texture that made on there. Gosh, this is like horrible lighting, by the way. All right, so I'm just going to run with that for the texture for the wood. So that's that. So now I'm going to add from light to dark, or no, dark to light, the moss. So, and you can vary it. You don't have to do it dark to light. You can do whatever you want. I do need new plastic, however. I'll probably end up putting all these that are open in a container unless I mix them. Gosh, this wrapper is not wanting to come off. New wrapper for that one. All right, so now that I'm using probably less than what I would have before for that. There's that one. And there's this one. You can get specifics by like cutting it. Like say if I don't want to break off a whole bunch of it, I just cut a piece of it off. Like little slivers almost. And I just put it aside for right now. You're supposed to put it back in like a wrapper or whatever, keep it from hardening. I'm horrible at that because I'm rushing. Can't see the chat, by the way. So if you guys are chatting, I have no idea what you're saying. Okay. I really like this mint color. This mint color is freaking awesome. I might save that for some jewelry, too. Different than this. So this is all I'm working with. Like, I'm just picking a little bit off of each one. And it's going to end up overtaking this entirely. So I'm making a polymer clay necklace out of a shower curtain rod holder. Shower curtain holder for the rod, I should say. Ugh, I don't want to open. I'm about to tear it off because I have no patience. Stress. Anyway. It's supposed to be stress-free. Anyway. Just for that little bit. Anyway. Well, I might do more than that color, actually. Yeah, that was pretty cool. I like that color. So, no specifics. We're just doing whatever comes to mind, whatever, anything, right? So, I'm going to try to work the clay. I am going to try to mix some of this clay to give like a different color because we are going to be using some of it for like the back part of it and then some of it for the forefront. So there's two sides to this and then there's an inner loop as well as an outer loop that I could work with. But, I'm just trying to see what I can do today. So I'm going to take a small portion of this, like almost like a sage green color. And then I'm going to take a small portion of this mint and mix it together. Not completely. I do want that marbling in there a little bit. See how it's kind of mashed together, but not really. It's kind of like got its own little vibe going on. And I'm going to leave that to the side. Same thing with this. I'm only going to put a small amount of this color. And I'm going to mix it with half of that. Okay. Same thing. Where I'm just mashing it together. I'm not really mixing it per se. I want the marbling in there for a reason. because I want it to break up that solid monotony color that ends up happening when you're trying to use clay or trying to use anything, even if like you're coloring. You want to mix up your crayon colors or whatever, media that you're using. That way it's not just one solid block, unless you're into that, unless that's your style, which is also a possibility. That one's kind of like camo a little bit. So I'm leaving that to the side. It is very similar in color, but the texture, like the marbling, is different. So that's what I wanted. So I'm going to leave that. Let's see, what else can I do? I can add a little bit of this like burnt orange color to this. Also, a little small piece of this. Make like a lighter brown color to add in there with the moss in the background. Remember, we're layering. So it's almost got like a reddish tint to it. Kind of pulls that orangey red color out into the clay. So leaving that also, because we're going to take little tiny chunks of this. And the reason why I mixed those three is because of the chunks of the solid color that I'm going to be using. I wanted it to be varied. I didn't want it to be just one specific, because hold on, let me oh, why is it not showing? Oh, is it showing? Okay. So of this one, oh, that's the cowboy hats. That's something completely different. Hold on. Let's see. So clay, dark. It should pull it right up. Oh, it didn't. Dark, naturalism is the theme for this week. So we're pulling up this concept. The first thing that caught my eye actually was this purple one. This is the one that I saw first that was like, okay, I need to do something like that, because it's the same exact shape as this. Well, the first one that I was looking at was this one. So I saw this and I was like, okay, I want to make earrings or jewelry or something out of it, right? And when I pulled up dark naturalism for this week, this was one of the first ones that came up, and I was like, that is so cool. I'm the type of person that I grew up making dioramas in school. And that to me was always really intriguing, like this little tiny world that I could create of my own, right? And like there's no rules or laws for it. It's just whatever you're creating. So when I go into these and I see these, it's just like amazing to me how like, just creative it is. I mean, these specifically have little gems in them and stuff, but and like also the same thing with like the little glass jars and stuff like that. I don't know what it is, like the witchy vibe, but but I like those things. I don't have any crystals to add to this right now, but I'm pretty sure like I probably could find some like quartz in the yard that I could put in there, right? Especially in North Carolina, you'll find quartz pretty much everywhere. And it's electrified by lightning. It's a lightning attractor. So that's why North Carolina has a lot of lightning. We have a lot of quartz. So, but yeah, you could find quartz pretty much anywhere if you dig good enough. You can find really cool stuff in gravel too. Like if you have your driveway redone and you get fresh gravel, you can look through there and maybe you can find some gems. I'm not joking. You'd be surprised what you'd find. Quality? Don't know. But still cool to look. I had my kids looking through the rocks when we redid my friend's driveway, and like we found a lot of really cool colored rocks and some really neat stuff in there. So yeah, maybe that's something that you guys can do too. But Okay. I want to see how much I can get done in the next 30 minutes. So I'm going to let's see, take some inspiration from these. And let's see how we can get this to work. So I'm just going to take, I guess, little chunks is what it looks like, kind of, a little bit. So I'm going to take some different colors and like patch them across, specifically like these lighter colors that are a little bit more neutral. I'm going to patch them in different places, but I'm going to use this tool to do that. So I'm taking, well, let me see if I can show you guys. I'm taking like the smallest like piece, right? Flattening it out on my finger. And then I'm just going to take a scratch of it. Okay. Not a lot, just a little bit. It's going to seem like a lot on here, but it's not. It's just a little bit. So I'm going to patch this in parts. Well, specifically, that one came out looking like a leaf. So I'm leaving it as a leaf. I'm just sticking random stuff in there. Like it's just whatever. It's a mashup of nonsense, right? Because it's nature. It's not meant to be any one specific way. And you can move it around different places. Doesn't have to be any certain shape. I feel like Bob Ross. Happy accidents, right? And I'm going to vary it throughout the entirety of this. So it's not just one color. It's actually going to be a mashup of colors and textures and things like that. So that way it kind of gives more of a more realistic vibe. You don't have to do it the way that I'm doing. You do however you want. I'm just showing you how I'm doing it for this specific piece. And it doesn't have to be perfect at all. And maybe there's a better way of doing this. I don't know, but this is how I'm doing it. Now, I'll be honest, with having a two-sided piece, your fingers always end up getting in the way and mashing something. So be aware that, you're going to constantly be changing the piece as it goes, as it, evolves. So, and be careful of pressure points because you could end up messing it up, if that's something that you're wanting to make it look like, be careful of, each side. Try to pinpoint a specific location that if you are gonna be holding the item. Just remember again, temperature from your hands will change the clay, it'll change the texture. It'll possibly, indent it or make it look like, fingerprinted or whatever I'm gonna call it. So, but I didn't mind it so much because, like I said, this is more natural, more nature looking. So I don't care that it's a little mashed here and there because that's something that I can work with texture wise. You may not be always able to do that with whatever it is that you're doing. So, like I said, just be careful. And I'm just throwing pieces on here just to kind of fill voids and throw different colors in different areas. And trying to just get something on the board, you know what I mean? because I'm only working the next 30 minutes on this. I'm trying to get it done as quickly as possible, so it's going to look a little messy. Because that's how nature is. It's messy. I'm going to try to hold it from the loop, actually, because I'm already messing it up. There's color transfer happening also, so I'm going to try to hold it from the loop from now on. Okay, so let's see if I could pull another color and how that will look. Now, this one's pretty pliable, so I'm just going to run it from the actual board. It is slightly different in color. I probably need to add some lighter color to it. I don't know. We're going to run with it because I don't know how this is going to end up coming out. So anyway. So I'm literally just using this little tool and like smearing it onto the wood in different places that don't really have anything. And if it does have something, it's like just light touching it to get it to stick. And like I said, we're going to go back and we're going to texturize this. So it doesn't really matter that it's like a glob or it doesn't match or it's not, doesn't look good. Doesn't matter. We're literally just trying to get it on there. So. Filling in blank spots. And this is like a slightly different color than the other ones.
Ooh, some clay.
Mm-hmm.
Don't eat it.
I promise I will. Let's see, right there is coming up more. Ah! Didn't want to do that. Background ASMR noises brought to you by the one and only Jeff. Anyway. So, this is definitely not wanting to stick. Roll, roll, roll. Tuck and roll, tuck and roll. Trying to press that clay in there. You know they can hear you. I swear. Okay. Another area. I'm going to try to build up a good portion of this bottom area because that's where all of the, or at least most of the mushrooms will be at. So back up.
Oh, wrong was up. It looked like shorts.
Okay, so there's certain things that you can do to it. Maybe like if I had like sprayed it with some kind of like a sealant of some kind or something like that, maybe it would have given a different texture and would have been able to hold better, like the actual ring by itself. it probably would have been able to, hold the clay on to the wood a little bit better, because it had a shine to it before. It was almost like it was shellacked or sealed in some way before. But because of the product that was already on it, it kind of makes it a little difficult for the clay to stick to. So I probably could have prepped the surface a little bit better, but I didn't. So I'm having to deal with that aspect of it, because it's like not wanting to stick in some places. I think it's because of the fact of my fingers and the oils that were on there. So, and I'll probably end up like I said, adding more details to it later. I just wanted to see how much I could get done before 4. See, now this one's not wanting to come off the stick. It's like it gets stuck after a little while. See, this specific one is definitely not wanting to stick. This color that I made may have overworked it. I don't know. And like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's just getting it on there. Okay, so going neutral. Probably should have saved this more. Who knows? Maybe a technique that I'm doing might be able to help you with something else. Who knows? Doesn't necessarily have to be this one thing. I feel like, a lot of the things that I've done in my lifetime has been, based around either something in nature or in the woods or of the woods. When I went to the paintball event, they ended up naming me the Wood Lady, which is funny because you get a nickname when you go out on the field. you get a nickname by everybody. And that was a really awesome experience, by the way. If you have a chance to go out into the woods sometime soon, I hope you get, safety first. Like I said, make sure that it's okay and safe for you to go there. That's not private property, because you are not. um, and bring somebody with you, and first aid and all that other good stuff. You know what I mean? If you have to, if you're like going on a trek, sometimes even just going for a walk at the park or something, it helps and get your mind right. So probably should have covered it with this and then put that other stuff on top of it. But this is a learning process, so we're working with what we've got here. Trying to cover all of the bare spots, so to speak. And since my vision is so absolutely horrible, um, and getting worse by the day, by the way, it's sometimes hard for me to see the little fine details of stuff. And reading glasses don't really help with that for some reason. Um, so it goes back to the conversation of insurance and everything, right? I'm just wondering when they're going to make health insurance mandatory for everyone. This is going to be, I feel like this is going to be pretty heavy in piece. I don't want to fill every aspect of it, but I do want to get a good bit of it kind of covered. Because remember, we're going to be going back in and adding more details later. So, I'm going to put different colors in there. Oh, my finger is like, if I had like something that would hold this. Oh, wait, I might. Hold on. Let me put this on a little pillow.
almost 4 o'clock.
I know. Okay. So I got this. That might help. Maybe. I doubt it. Which one's the strongest seeming? This one's okay, but it's not super strong. Crap. Maybe. That might work. I don't know. I really can't see it that well, to be honest with you. Another option is wreaths as well. Anything circular naturally. So, all right. I've got a good portion of it covered now. The lighting is here, and here is horrible. I keep saying that, I know. All right. So, up close, a little bit more, you can see that there's a little bit more natural looking look to it. I don't know if you guys can see that specifically. I literally just smeared stuff on there, right? And I'm going to go back and like use like say the tip of this or like these little things. And I'm going to actually, I don't know where I put it, but I do have like this light that magnifies things. Jeff gave it to me, or well, let me borrow, I guess. This light thing, and it works really, really great when I'm trying to do small, fine details. I don't know how I would be able to show you guys through that. I would love to be able to give you guys like a point of view from the microscope, so to speak, into whatever it is that I'm doing. I don't know how I'll be able to do that, but I'll try to do that. Maybe later today. Maybe you do like a clip or like a video for YouTube or TikTok or whatever. You know, the little short, little couple seconds long thing. And maybe I'll be able to do it that way with the phone rather than the camera itself. So I am getting ready to leave. So I hope y'all have a wonderful day. I will continue to do this project later. And once I get done, you know, I'll show you guys the finished product. So, like I said, I hope you all have a wonderful day. I hope you keep creating and thinking of new ways of doing things, keeping your mind open to the possibilities of the tomorrow, as well as, you know, working on bettering ourselves from our past. So, take today and do the best you can. Take a half a day at a time if you have to, and just keep breathing, because that's all we can do. But I hope you guys enjoyed this little varied stream that I did. And let me go back to the full camera. Oh gosh, I didn't even see. Sorry, Papa Bear, I did not see that. Thank you so much for that. I don't know what I'm supposed to do for the heart me, but I do know that the lightning round was supposed to be to sing. And I would act professional when I'm singing. So If you're still on here, Papa Bear, let me know what song you want me to sing, and I'll kind of go forward with that. Live goal achieved. Check the goal and celebrate the moment. Thank you very much. Like I said, VA Papa Bear, Fathead, Ruthna, Pearson, Kenneth, Ariana, Mella, Gus, King, Andrew, user 56212, Marion, Bobby, Flipcop, whatever that word is. Welcome also. So, real quick before I leave, if you are still here, I don't know. Again, thank you for that. I don't know what song, but we're going to go ahead and pull up, let me pull up YouTube music real quick. And I am just going to pick the first song that comes across. Well, this isn't YouTube music. Hold on. This is just YouTube. Let's see. So I don't have anything on playlists for this one. Okay. Let's see. Do y'all have a specific song that you want me to sing? I don't know. Baby, pick a song.
I am. Goodbye. See you later. It's time for us to get ready.
I know. Real quick.
I have no idea. Let's see. How about Bonnie Tyler? Turn around.
Turn Around by Bonnie Tyler.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. For those of you who are on my Twitch, y'all gonna have to go check out my TikTok to go get this video. So if you're on my YouTube, go check out my TikTok for the song. Y'all have a good day and behave. As soon as I can figure out how to turn this thing off.